Hi there, it's Andrea the Astrotracker, and I'm here to talk about Barbault'S baskets. We've all become basket cases, at least the astrologers have, talking about this thing. It's Barbault, that word up there. Oh, it's over there. That's spelled uh, Barbault. I have this on mirror, so I don't know which side is which. Um, it's not a barbell. Well, this is a dumbbell. By the way, you can tell my dumbbell has some dust on it. That means I really haven't used it very much. It's not a barbell though. It's not a dumbbell either. It's not a bar like this with a bow like this. It's kind of a sad bow I've got here, but anyway, it's not a bar. It's not a bow. It's Barbault, pronounced Barbault, Barbault. And here he is, Mr. Barbault, Andre Barbault. He is the one who it is named after. He's an astrologer that was born in 1921, like 1 year before my dad. And he predicted in 2014 that we would have a pandemic. And he did that based on making this thing, this graph that you can see in back of me. It's an index. It's called Barbault's index. And he made this prediction based on looking at the slow moving planets in the heavens and where they all glom together, where they all get together, which most astrologers know happened at the end of 2020, end of 2019, through 2020 and 2021. We had Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in Capricorn, all glommed up together. And where planets glom up together like that, what he studied was that throughout history, there would be a pandemic. So he actually died in October of 2019, before COVID really got going. Remember, COVID-19 is the 19 is means COVID 2019, that they named it after the year in which it started. And it kind of started in October, November, when we really began to hear about it, the end of the year in 2019. He died in October, but he predicted it in 2014. And it was, again, based on this index. Now, where the lower part of the index is, so that's right behind me. Let's see if I can get out of the way. Okay, you can see that. The lower part of the index is there in the early 2020s. And that's where all those planets got together in Capricorn. And that's what, and looking back in history, he saw that anytime that happened, we had a pandemic. So that's how he predicted that. And that's kind of how astrology works. We look at what's in the heavens, we look at history and where planets were historically, and then we make predictions based on that. So it's not a bunch of bull. It really is based on science and geometry and those kind of things. And we look at things historically and then we make predictions based on that. Now there's something really cool that's coming called Barbault'S basket. So here's a basket. Now, I'll show you what it really looks like in astrological terms. Here it is. Let me see. Got to get it just in the right place so that you can see it. And if I lift it up, you can see the basket. So we got Pluto, and then we got Jupiter on the other side, and then we have Neptune and Uranus down at the bottom. And this is the basket. The handle is up here. The moon is creating the handle. The moon is creating the handle. I hope you can hear me when I'm saying that this is the basket. And what we have is Pluto, which has to do with transformation, in Aquarius, which has to do with revolution. Don't you know, we just had the 250th anniversary of our country. And what do we have 250 years ago, y'all? We had a revolution. And that is where Pluto was in Aquarius. Not only that, the French have it too, because they had a revolution just after ours. Isn't that interesting? And they have it too. So they have that same thing going on. So, of course, we had our anniversary. So we're in a revolution time. Opposite that is Jupiter and Leo. Jupiter and Leo is about things getting bigger, opportunities, but it can also be release things. And what I've found too is that especially Jupiter and Leo because remember Leo the lion, Leo the king, Leo the king of the animals and so forth. Jupiter and Leo will also release leaders. So bye bye to leaders. And as you know, in recent weeks, we've had Mitch McConnell go. We've had um, Lindsey Graham. That one was kind of a surprise, by the way. And we'll talk about that in a second. The whole we didn't see that one coming situation. So, and I expect more leaders to go. And, sometimes they say these things come in threes. By the way, Netanyahu has a pretty bad chart. And so there's some, he's had a bad chart for a while. So I'm surprised that he isn't gone already. And I don't necessarily mean died. I mean, just that isn't in jail or something. But anyway, I guess he's mad. And so he's taking it out on everyone. Um, anyway, I don't mean to joke about that because it's a really horrible thing. But I'm just saying his chart is not good. Um, and I don't, like I said, I don't know that it means he'll die or anything. But what happens is leaders get released. When Jupiter is in Leo, especially with Pluto opposite that, leaders go bye-bye. And so I'll be looking at that in some of my upcoming classes and things like that, and probably in some of these things that I'm doing online to talk about where leaders are going. Not only that, Leo is also a sign that really is connected to celebrities. And so you may see some actors or some favorite actors or some favorite musicians or stars, music stars and people like that on the stage. You may see someone go. So, I'm also going to be looking into who I think might be departing, literally departing this time, based on this whole Barbault'S basket thing of Jupiter and Leo, which can release people from basically the earth. So it's sad to say, but that's kind of what happens. The sides of the basket connect to two other planets. We're going to try and do this. And one of them is Neptune, and the other one is Uranus. Neptune in Aries it's the Star Trek thing where we've never been here before. When Saturn and Neptune moved into Aries at the beginning of this year, that's when that's when the astronauts went to the other side of the moon. And that Neptune in Aries is going where we haven't gone before, because Aries is the point man or the point woman going out into the wilderness where we've never been before. And that's what Aries is. And Neptune is the I don't know. And I also call Neptune faith or fog. You're going to have faith in order to get through this, because you sure aren't going to be able to see why the heck something's happening. So you better have some faith in there. Anyway, so Neptune in Aries is on one side of the basket connecting to Pluto, which is what? Again, transformation, right? And it may be revolutionary transformation based on what? The people, individuals working for the group working for the individual. That's what Aquarius is. So things that are happening and us going where we haven't gone before. There's the bottom of the basket that goes over then to Uranus, which connects to that Jupiter and Leo. So Uranus is the unexpected. In Gemini is communication, can also be travel, can also be air travel, but it can be short travel too. So the unexpected in travel. So I am concerned that there may be some issues having to do with travel that are going on, and maybe something unexpected happening in travel. And so we'll see what happens with that. This aspect is lasting 4 days. By the way, it's at 4 degrees. Each one of those planets, slow planets, each one of them is at 4 degrees. And the 4 has to do with solidarity, security, practicality, feeling secure, right? 4 legs, there are 4 legs on a chair in order for it to be completely balanced, right? So that's what the 4 is about. So this is about bringing back solidity and security to the world through what? Maybe through a revolution, maybe through some unexpected things happening, maybe through some leaders going bye-bye, whether they go to jail or whether they die or whether they just leave office. Bottom line is that, some people are going to be released, things that we never saw coming, like the whole thing with Lindsey Graham. Who saw that coming? I know that I had predicted it about a month ago, but I was really thinking of Mitch McConnell, and I said Lindsey Graham's name, and then the next thing you know, it was Lindsey Graham that went. So that was kind of like, sometimes I say things and uh, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not a psychic, but that was certainly a slip of the something. I don't know what that was. But anyway, so what we have is transformation that may be revolutionary, going where we haven't gone before. Uranus in in Gemini is unexpected communication. By the way, the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is a psychopomp. And what does Mercury do? He escorts people to the other side. Like, whoever thinks about that? We don't ever talk about that, but that is what Mercury does. He escorts people to the other side. And what do you think Pluto is? Where do you think Pluto lives? On the other side. So there's kind of some weird stuff going on there. And again, Jupiter and Leo is saying bye-bye to certain leaders in whatever way they go. The handle of the basket has been moving, because the handle of the basket, which in this, you probably can't see it very well. It's right here, and it's going from the top of this over to the other side over here. It's been moving. The moon has been moving from, first it started in Virgo. What Virgo is, something's broken, got to fix it. That's the first one that already happened. So that's kind of in the works. Now moon is in Libra, which is we need to negotiate. We need to balance things out. And then it's going to end up in Scorpio, which Scorpio is hidden things, things that we've buried. And so I have this feeling that things that have been buried are going to come out. Scorpio can also have to do with sex stuff. So, by the way, we're going to repeat this thing that happened with Bill Clinton. So you think we're going to get away with not talking about the Epstein files and stuff? It is going to come out in a big way before the election, when Venus goes retrograde in Libra and Scorpio. So we'll see that. But bottom line is, the whole Barbault's basket thing is that this guy was saying that now, let me see if I can do this. No, I got to do it. There we go. There we go. Okay, it's in the mirror, so I'm really messed up here. This thing that's going up over here is that resources are going to even out. So what he's saying is that it's good for the little people, because the resources that have been very unequal for the last 10, 20 years and have gotten really bad in the last 10 years, it's going to start to even out. So as we get rid of some of those leaders, as we have people, stand up and say, no, 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 that isn't what we want. We want this. As that happens, we're going to see resources balance out a little bit. And so it's going to be a lot better for the little guy, and not so good maybe for the billionaires, because they might start having to pay taxes like in New York City now. So things like that are going to start to happen. So not to be afraid or anything. The whole Barbault'S basket configuration is considered to be a good thing. In fact, Andre himself called it splendid, and he said this is the most significant aspect of the century. Boy, I meant to show you the basket. Here's the basket. Here's the Pluto. Oh, here's Pluto. Where's my little thing here? Here's Pluto. It's really a nut. Here's Pluto. On the other side is Jupiter. And down here, this is exactly what the basket looks like, guys. Down here, we've got Uranus, and then down here on this side, we've got, I know this Zoom is crazy. Then over here, we've got Neptune. So this is the basket. And then the moon is going to be moving in the handles. So as it moves, we've got this going on. So this is literally Barbault'S basket. It's the best shape that I could find that matches exactly what the configuration is on the astrological chart. By the way, this little nut thing has something inside it. We're going to look at and see what it is. I don't even know. It's in here. Oh, cute. It's a teddy bear. Well, I don't know if it's a teddy bear. It's something. It's cute. Anyway, um, it's inside my nut. I don't know what that is. It's very cute. Anyway, that's what's going on with Barbault's basket. Just know that this is actually a good configuration. It's going to be something that's really going to be good for people, but we may see some things happen that really, this is about significant change that can transform our lives in a good way. So understand that that is what's really happening. It is not to say that I'm happy about people passing. That's not the case at all. By the way, I had said this about a month ago that beloveds would be passing, and it's kind of a Venus thing. At the time that I was talking, it was a Venus thing. And Venus in our charts can indicate people who we have emotion about. They can be good emotion, it can be bad emotion. So that people would be leaving. That was a Venus aspect, Venus and Pluto aspect that I was seeing then when I mentioned about uh, Lindsey Graham and all those people. But so just watch for that, and pray for those who you love who are going bye-bye, and pray for all of us that everything is going to turn out fine. I'm telling you that Andre, who really was good at making a prediction, this guy, he lived to be 98 years old. He did a good job. He knew what he was talking about. And so we can look forward to a broadening of resources that maybe is going to help those of us out who are having a lot of trouble buying food, paying for gas, and all of that. Unfortunately, the war isn't going away because that's Uranus and Gemini, and astrologers know that whenever Uranus is in Gemini, we go to war. But hopefully, we can negotiate our way out of it eventually. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to say this, though, tail end of this. What I am seeing, though, is that in the whole releasing process, um, I believe Iran is going to get a new leader because they're going to have a Jupiter on Jupiter situation. So they're either going to lose a leader and get a new one, or they're going to get all that money that Trump promised them. It's one thing or the other. Why? That Jupiter in Leo, it can be generous. So they might just get that money. I don't know, but I think it would be a lot better if they did get regime change. I don't know how that's going to happen because it's coming up fast. But the other thing to watch that's coming up is the solar and lunar eclipses, and the solar eclipse in Leo will say bye-bye to people. On the large stage, what I call the large stage, you know. So keep an eye out. I'll be talking about that soon. Anyway, hope you guys have a great week. Guess where I'm going with some of my friends? To the casino. If you don't have a casino near you, you can go play the lottery. It just might work out, especially if you have anything in your chart at 4 degrees. And if you want to know if you do, you can get a reading with me and find out if you got a planet at 4 degrees. It might just help you out. Hope you do. Have a great week. Enjoy. Bye.